With the news on. Get down.
Let me clear my throat. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Somebody pass around the offering. Cause I'm always preaching on tracks, you feel me? I might as well get paid for it. Sermon of the day. You right where you supposed to be, baby. Informants informing, that information forming. Important you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortunately, blessings on now they snoring. You mellow, so focused on scoring. Got you underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. That game plan, show out like a jotter, pop out like a cutter. Telling the kick rock, skipping the course, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogies, using my diddy boots, ain't don't stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I don't whip out a need of a validation. No congratulations on no celebration. I know I don't whip out a need of a validation. Yeah. If having hope is dangerous, call me evil Knievel. You leading on the wrong side, living with pens and needles. So lethal, made Shane Black wanna write a sequel. Cause I snuggle my dream till it's seen as illegal. And I still probably will, cause I can never give up. I got my goals calling me, how could I never pick up? Either we make up or just break up, and the snake hits get the rake up. Yeah, selfish, I'ma cake up if I don't shake me to wake up. Let my depression catapult me to succession. Shine a light on my imperfections like a projection. Every struggle a lesson, your issues ain't your oppression. Never got a question, they pushing me to progression like I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best.
Everybody, happy Thursday. That's right. Make the rest of your life the best of your life. Like what? Yep, just like that. I'm going to try to remain calm once again on tonight. I don't know. Fall is bringing out the peace in me, I guess. My favorite season. You know, warming up for celebration. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Please, ma'am. Please, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. If you would be so kind and generous. It is free 99. It costs you nothing. But it does mean oh so much to us and everything here at the Bravo with Sheila Network. And so, how have y'all been? Do you have a week like mine? I feel like I'm doing a commercial right now. How are you feeling today? Has your week been rough? Has it taken every bit of your energy just to make it to today? Well, we've got something for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm going to cut it out. No, I'm not. That's how I feel today, y'all. That's just how I feel. It's been that kind of week. These days seem like they are heavy. I don't know what is happening. Summer's gone. Felt like October before it needed to be October. It's just now September. Life is lifing. But guess what? We are blessed because we are here one more time, one more day. So welcome in. Happy Thursday to you all. I am your Thursday night host, Lady Dawn B. And I am so glad that you came in to share with us and spend some time with us in conversation on tonight. So, as you all know, here on the Bravo with Sheila Network, we are not here to convict nor to convince anyone, but we are here to have conversation, open dialogue, to learn, glean, and grow from one another. We want to be iron that sharpens iron. So we just ask that you would engage freely. We look forward to it. We want to hear from you. We want you to jump on in those comment sections and type what your thoughts and feelings are so that we can converse with you and let's learn and grow together, right? So before we start, let me just say, as always, Bravo Sheila Network, while not being a Christian-based network, a lot of us who are on the panel are believers. But with that in mind, we want you to know that we are open to everyone's thoughts, feelings, and opinions. Whatever your moral compass is, it is welcome here. Okay? No judgment, none of that. It's free space. We want to hear, we want to learn, we want to grow, and we respect everyone's thoughts, feelings, and opinions. Again, whatever your moral compass is, we do appreciate it. Excuse me, y'all. And With that being said, the number one rule here on the Bravo with Sheila Network is respect. And if at any time we find that respect is not being shown, or disrespect is being displayed, whether it be in the comments or on the platform, we are sorry, but not sorry. We will have to remove you from this space, as we do believe in keeping it safe and integral. So while you are expressing and sharing, let's just please be mindful, because we do have grown folk conversation here. And we just want to make sure that we are servicing everyone and letting everyone know that you're welcome here. So again, I'm a God's girl. So as always, what you're going to get when you get me, you're going to get a little Jesus. All right. So please do not be offended nor take it personal. That's my moral compass, God. And so whatever yours is, we invite you to share from that. However, we are not here to speak from a religious or biblical background, or again, whatever that is, but we know it's a part of who you are. So we don't want you to not share and not reference and not say, but we are just here to have conversation. And again, and share and grow with one another. So we appreciate that on tonight. Again, respect is our number one rule. And with that being said, we have the greatest moderator to ever do it in these YouTube streets here on the Bravo with Sheila Network. She is in the person of Inne Kenya, and she is always in the house and in the building and on her post. We love you, Inne. Thank you so much for being in your space. We couldn't do what we do without you. And she, being the lovely moderator of this space, guess what? Gets the honor, privilege, and the right to remove anyone from this space that we find is displaying disrespect and who's not playing oh so nice. And she doesn't have any problems just tapping that button, and we'll see you on the outside. But we hope not. Thankfully, we have not had to do that. We've all been able to get along just fine, and we want to continue to do so. So while we are in the chat, let's see who else is in the building. Oh, there goes my sis. Dr. E is in the house. Welcome in, sis. Welcome in. So glad you tuned in on tonight. She is the lead voice on Mondays Beyond the Mic right here on the Bravo with Sheila Network on Monday nights at 7 p.m. And I have the honor and privilege of riding shotgun with her. She's Batman and Robin. She's SpongeBob. I don't know who SpongeBob's, is it this, I don't know. Whoever that is. She's Thelma Louise, or it might be the other way around. I don't know. But either way, we rock it out on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So while you're at it, and since you're here, just hit that subscribe button and you will get notified, and hit the notification button and hit that thumbs up button. It's a lot of hitting. Just 3 things you need to hit tonight. Okay, to make sure that you are locked into the Bravo with Sheila Network, because you don't want to miss any of the exciting things that go on over here. And oh, looky here, who we got. It is a blessed Thursday on tonight. Michael McDonald is in the building. What is popping, sir? Thank you for joining in. That really, that's what we're doing. This ain't Mondays. It's not Mondays. We do things different over here, okay, on Thursday nights. But we thank you. You could just start by saying hello. We thank you for joining us. Welcome in, Michael McDonald. And we have, hey, my mama, Pastor Rosa, is in the house on tonight. And we look forward to having you comment in the section. She said she just stopped by to say hello. As you know, her homework is calling. So we appreciate you, Mommy, for joining in and for being here with us. And oh, looky here. We have Mr. Patrick Riley in the building, aka Bishop. Welcome in, sir. Welcome in. Thank you all for joining on tonight. And tonight's conversation, as we begin to get into it, because I don't want Michael McDonald to be sensitive about our intro as we enjoy ourselves over here on Monday night. We're not pressed for time. On Thursday night, excuse me. We do what we do over here. Okay, but I'm gonna pacify him a little bit tonight. But before we bring the crew up, should you decide that you need some spiritual guidance, encouragement, any of that, please hop on over across the street to the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network. Over there, you will find Pastor Sheila, Pastor Rosa, Reverend Jenny. All 3 of them are on Fridays at 11 a.m. for Women of Grace. And Pastor Rosa, my mom, is on Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. bringing a good word. And Pastor Sheila is all throughout both networks, sharing information and encouragement all around. So you want to make sure that you subscribe to both so you don't miss anything. Okay, so with that being said, y'all, let's get into tonight's conversation. As you know, this month of September, we're grateful that we are going into the fall season. Right, fall is beginning, and we want to go into our next season better than what we were as we came out of our last. So we've been having real deep conversations, but on tonight we're going to pause. It's still going to be deep conversation, but tonight we're going to pause and we are going to feature one of our very own once again. She is who I call the sweetheart of Bravo. And before I say another thing, we would be remiss if we did not pay homage to the Queen Bee of the Bravo with Sheila Network, Pastor Sheila Ingram herself. We bring you blessings, Auntie Bravo. Thank you for allowing us to come and commune, fellowship, have conversations. You know, I took us to church. Sorry, y'all. I'm coming back. So on tonight, let's get it started. Who we got up in the house? Y'all know he was sharing last week, taught us up. Now he's going to have to come back for a part 3. I think I'm going to have to just give Justin his own segment on a Thursday. He's just going to, because it's too much in him to, we can't limit him. We got to turn him loose. So we're going to bring him up. You know him. You love him. I am the president of his fan club. What's good? What's popping, Justin? Good to see you. Mr. Courageous Vulnerability himself.
Hey, what's going on, sis? How you? Hello? Can you
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. I hope everybody's having a good day. How are you?
I'm good. I'm going to be better as we move along, I'm sure. It's been that kind of week. Well, I'm glad you're in the building. And again, you know her. You love her. She is, again, who I call the Bravo, the sweetheart of Bravo. She is, y'all love her. Y'all give it up for Coach Theo in the house tonight. Hey, sis, how you doing? I think you're on mute, Mama.
I'm muted. That's the kind of week I've been having.
So we all in the same space. That's what it is. We all. Well, I'm glad you unmuted yourself because we're going to need to hear from you tonight because our topic tonight is actually based around part of a conversation we had and something that she said that triggered me. And I feel that this is so important as we go into this next season to have this discussion tonight. And it is it's actually her brand, if I'm correct, as well. Healing is a choice. Okay. And y'all are in for a treat tonight. Look who's in the house. And you know what? I figured he would not have missed because his sweetheart, his darling, his fave is our feature spotlight tonight. Y'all know him. Y'all love him. He's big bruh. He's in the house. Mr. Rockology is in.
You know, I had to cancel everything with them. I found out Theo, you know how to cancel everything. I canceled everything.
I ain't even mad at you. I ain't even mad.
I know that.
You got her speaking
as I said, Theo, let me go on the phone and start canceling stuff.
Lord Jesus. Well, we're glad that she was enough motivation for you to show up on tonight and come up in the building. Yes. Put things on pause. All things. So y'all know the squad, y'all know the team, but I'm sure others may be folding in later on, but we're going to get into this conversation. So tonight we're talking about healing is a choice, which is the brand of our very own Coach Theo. And the thought behind that, when you hear it, I usually start off this way, so I'm going to go this route. But Theo and I also connected when we partnered on, we met a collaboration of Loving You is Hurting Me. This is the book that we wrote about 5 years ago, I believe, 5-6 years ago. And in her share, we wrote it with 4 or 5 other women. And in this book, as she shared, that was one of the points that she brought up about her journey in getting from being loved in a place that was hurting her to a place of freedom. And her epiphany of healing is a choice. And a lot of times we think that, healing is up to someone else or it's never going to come. But when you think about the fact that you make your decision, you decide. It doesn't matter how much you've gone through. Sometimes we get stuck and we want to remain because so much has happened to us in our lives. But the truth of the matter is, she's correct. Healing is a choice, and we have to decide what we're going to do. Are we going to stay wounded and carry those bruises, or are we going to get healed, get up, and get to moving forward? So I want to start with asking Justin. So when you hear the phrasing, healing is a choice, what does that mean to you? What's the first thing that came to your mind?
It inspired a question in me more than anything, but I definitely feel like it is I'll say it was a choice that I was forced to have to acknowledge and make, but it was definitely acknowledging it as a choice was definitely powerful for me, because then I understood that with the help of the Lord, I could make that choice. And so yeah, it's a powerful thing to step back and realize that the better that I wanted, I could actually have it. I didn't have to not heal. I didn't have to not be wounded or traumatized. So for me, that's a very empowering statement.
Okay. Empowering. And Chad, I want you to chime in as well. Tell me what you think, or let us know how you feel about when you hear that statement, healing is a choice. Do you agree that it's a choice? Do you disagree that it's a choice? How does that look like for you? Rockology, come on and share, sir.
Anytime I hear it, I think about the day where I had to sit down and realize and accept the fact that what happened to me growing up was not my fault, but my healing is my responsibility. It was my responsibility to heal from it. I can't keep, I couldn't, I realized I didn't want to spend the rest of my life using what happened to me early in my life as a crutch or as a reason to have negative behavior or destructive behavior or not mature into the man that I'm supposed to mature into.
That's good stuff, because again, we do get stuck. A lot of us, we walk with the trauma of our past, but we have to understand that it is our decision. I think sometimes we're waiting for someone to come and rescue us from our space of wounds or our space of trauma. We kind of sit in that, although physically we progress forward and we grow and we move on. But I think that we also sometimes just get stuck. That child in us we're still tagging that child along. We're still carrying that child along. Um, and we're growing around him or her, but we're never choosing to really deal with that bookmark place in our lives, and but even in that, we are making a choice. Got you, Anae, no problem. Thank you, Mama. Even in that, it's a choice. We are deciding to stay where we are. We decide, just like when you go on a trip, you decide what goes in your baggage, what you're taking with you. So it really is up to us. So to me, when I hear the term healing is a choice, it's a wake-up call for me to, I want to say, kind of deal with the responsibility, I guess, like Rock was saying. What is my responsibility? Whose choice is it? It's my choice. So I'm responsible for what I do and where I go. So, Theo, share with us where that concept came from, what prompted that for you, and just take us through that what that walk looked like for you.
So I would say Rock probably hit it on the head, right? It was I got to the point of tired of being tired, right? Tired
Mm-hmm.
of being angry, tired of being
Mm-hmm.
sad, tired
Mm-hmm.
also wearing a mask, right? Because I always I'm like the go-to person, right? So I'm always the person, how you doing? I'm good, I'm okay, right? I'm solving the problems, I'm helping people do whatever, right? So it was a point where I think also I just couldn't get out of this space of just feeling like every day was a
Mm-hmm.
struggle to get up, to go to work, to be there, to pretend I was okay, to try not to cry at work, working in HR, like just trying to show up for everybody. But I think I also got to a point where I just got up one day and I was, sitting on the side of my bed and, talking with God and listening. And I just heard like clear as day. He was like, yo, you can stay here in this space and feel sorry for yourself and wallow in this, or you can heal.
Right.
See? And that's at the point that I realized that it was my choice, but I also realized, right, that I wanted to do it differently, right? Like Rock said,
Mm-hmm.
I realized that only I could be responsible for my
Mm-hmm.
healing.
Mm-hmm.
And although there was stuff because we're always healing from something, right? Like from 2016 to 2018, it was like back to back to back to back. Like when I was like, okay, God, what's up? Right? Go, come on, pick on somebody else, right? And I got to a point where I was like, and I remember saying to one of my best friends, I was like, I need to get back into therapy. I gotta figure out what's wrong with me. And she was like, nothing is wrong with you. You're a good person. And I was like, I know nothing is wrong with me. I know I'm a good person. But I know that I need to figure out why I keep ending up in some of the same situations that I'm ending up in, why I'm walking around some days feeling happy, some days not feeling so great. But I also just wanted to get to the root of just who I was. Because I think I also came to a point where I was recognizing that I've been walking around like I was Wonder Woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I needed to start, like, I started saying to my friends and my family, like, I remember saying to my god sisters, like, yo, I'm not good. I need y'all to pray for me. I don't even know what to say to God at this point. Like, I'm struggling, right? I am I am hurting, right? And they all were like, wait a minute, like, what's up? Because that's not me. But I think the minute I started just being honest with other people, but then most of all with myself,
That
was
part.
the turning point for me, right? But I think where the healing is a choice came from is like I literally heard God say, "It's up to you. You could stay here, or you could choose to heal." Right. And I chose to heal, but I chose to do it in a way where it was about me. It wasn't about anyone else. Yeah, stuff had happened to me, stuff had got me to the point that I was in, and I dealt with that. And I'm not going to say that I forgot about it, because now it's like little memories in my head that, I pull them out if I need to remind me not to go back and do XYZ. But it doesn't control me, because what you find is most people stay in that space of what happened to them,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which means you get stuck in that space of what happened to you, which can hinder, right, the healing and the growth, right? And I didn't want to get stuck there. So, and I would say to anybody, it was the hardest thing ever, because I literally chose to take a look at myself. So my first couple of therapy sessions, I think the therapist was like running out of tissues, because I just cried, right? Because I just cried because I was like really figuring out that some of the stuff that I went through, it was partly my fault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because even in those things, because there are some things that happen that I had no control over, right? But there are other things that I had control over. Those were things that I could have made a choice about too. And back then, God probably gave me the choice too, and I chose to make my own choice, right? But I think honestly, it really was like I felt like I needed to like really figure out who I am, right? Like I knew I was like I could. I'm Theodora Carter. I'm a chief human resources officer, right? I'm a daughter. I'm a this. I'm a that. I could all of the titles, but without all of those titles, when you strip all of that stuff away, who was I?
Hmm. I think you said a lot of good things in your share. Um, and as I was writing down some things, the first thing that you were saying, oh, well, first, let me welcome in a few other people. Welcome in Harlem Girl. She has some comments in this chat. She says, hold on, y'all. Y'all know I'm half blind. And she said, it's a fight that you will get through. And
Yes,
that's true.
that
If
is
you think about it, it is. You may not feel like it's good. You're going to get through it in the beginning because you really don't know what to expect out of it.
yeah.
But you don't know how strong you are until you get in the ring with something. You don't know how strong you are. First of all, if you were strong enough to withstand the break, I believe you're strong enough to bounce back and heal from it.
Mhm.
It may have knocked the wind out of you at times, but you still have the ability to get up from where you are. So you're right. But you just have to be willing
To get
to
through it.
be in the fight, right? You got your mindset has to be, and that I think locks us up a lot of times is we don't have the mindset because we're stuck in the moment of what happened, kind of just like in shock, which is understandable. Harlem Girl also says your trauma is something you went through in this lifetime, but the trauma itself doesn't define you.
Yeah.
And that's another very good point. And as I wrote that down too, it's not what happened to you. You're not what happened to you. You know, and I think we allow that label of what happened to us to rest on us, and we embrace it and allow it to be a part of our lives, which then we don't even look to be healed because we settle for the fact that this is just who I am now.
Mhm. But
You
you also have to unpack it,
know.
right? And I think that's the hard part of the healing, right? Because in order to sometimes release it, you do have to unpack it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't unpack it till you open it. You have to, and that's important, but you have to be willing. Um, and just to like sidebar right there, it just made me think of some may know one of my best friends, like my other half of I want to say, piece of my heart, um, suddenly passed away in January, on January 7th. Still remember it like it was yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
of this year. And so everything happened very quickly. I found myself packing my clothes on my way down to North Carolina the very next week, 7 days later, to her funeral and to serve and all of that, right? And when I got home, going through all these motions of things, because we still have to exist, but as you're talking about unpacking it, when I got home, I was like, I don't know what to bring, I don't know what to wear, because I'm gonna be down there for a few days, so I just do, whatever I thought I needed in my suitcase, but when I got home, and dragged my luggage back upstairs, I left it sitting in the living room, and I promise you, normally I would have taken it down the hallway, taken stuff out, put it in the laundry, how we do all that, put the luggage, suitcase back up in the cupboard. I did none of that. I left that suitcase sitting in the living room. We are in September now, probably, and this is no lie. It sat there for months, and I refused to open it. I refused to. I didn't care that they were clothes that needed to go to the laundry. I didn't care what was in it because it was a bookmark of a moment that I didn't want to have. You know, I didn't want to experience. I didn't ask to be in this situation. You know, I'm angry right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my best friend to be going like, who am I supposed to call? Like now I'm stressed out, I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm struggling. And normally I would pick up the phone and call you, but I can't even call you because you're the reason why, I'm feeling this way. And so when I got back home again, I did not unpack that suitcase because I wasn't ready.
Yep.
I just was not ready because it was such a a marker, a symbol of what had happened, and it took me a while to realize that because I'm not like that. I take the stuff out like before it's even, but it was the trauma of the event. I felt it was one of the things that would have caused me to have to release and to deal with the fact that my heart was hurting, my spirit was bruised because of what just happened, and that they said, and there's nothing that I could do about it. And so when I finally got to the point where I was ready to unpack it, I moved it down the hallway and into my room. And I'll be honest, it sat there for another like 10 days. But I made some progress because at least I didn't have the door anymore. I was taking it into my personal space. So when you said eventually I did take stuff out, wash my clothes and all that. I was like, whatever's in here, I just don't need this, whatever to get washed when it gets washed. But sometimes when we go through things in life, it sits with us just like that.
Yeah.
And we pass it by and pass it by. And I didn't want to unpack it because that meant I had to deal with the hurt.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to. But you were hurt, but I was hurting anyway.
Yeah.
So why still carry it? I had to reason with myself, get myself together. But when you said that about the unpacking, it made me think of that point where I wanted to, like,
you had to get to that, right? And that's another part of the healing, right? It's the space of giving yourself grace.
Yeah.
Right. Being okay with, what, I know there's something I got to deal with, but right now I can't. Right. But the point is to get there and not stay in that space. Like if you would have said to us, you still haven't unpacked, we'd have been like, okay, right? We need to have
close. It was close. I don't think that suitcase was coming back. I listened.
It was very close.
We did like we need to.
I remember.
Yeah, big bro, right?
I was like, baby sis, but just wait a minute. Don't start fussing, but just wait a minute. Just wait a minute.
He sure did. See, I got proof. My big bro is just I struggled. I wasn't ready. I was not ready. We go through, having driven all the way down south Carolina, went through the funeral, stayed extra day, all of that. But still, it goes to show you how we can go through the motions and through the process, and you're still not ready.
Yeah, yeah, that's real though, because I will tell you, to this day, I could tell you everything that happened the moment I walked into my dad's house and me and my aunt found him, right? Like I could tell you literally the order that all of the first responders, like in my mind, I was thinking, why is the fire department coming? Why are the cops coming? Why is all these, right? Like I could tell you every moment of it. And then going straight from that to planning the funeral, to making sure his apartment is cleaned out, to taking care of all of the stuff and all of that, to the point where I was just moving. And there was a space in me that knew that I was grieving, but I just couldn't. And it wasn't until one day I sat on my couch, like months later, and I just let it all out. Right? But it's a process.
It definitely is. That you have to start somewhere. And I mean, I think I probably tripped over the suitcase like 9,000 times. And you think it was just as easy as, if you're tripping over it, it's obviously in the way. Yeah. And we trip over a lot of our hurts and our pains and just instead of like move it out of the way. All I did was I moved it over a little bit. I put it next to my shoe rack so it wouldn't be sticking out so much. You know what I'm saying? I just relocated it. I still didn't deal with it. I just relocated it. And sometimes we do that. We transfer our feelings and our hurt to things. You
Yeah.
know. Come on in, Justin. You want to say something?
Yeah, no. One of the questions I wrote when I went in, 'cause what y'all talking about right now is kind of making me think about it. But I read some stuff about my sister, and I was what I wanted to ask. She said something about limiting beliefs, right? And so, like, I guess what my question would be is, how does one start the process of addressing limited beliefs? Because again, it could not be, but what I'm hearing with Dunn is that she saw that suitcase, but she just didn't believe she was ready to deal with it. And until she did believe, she was right. She wasn't going to be ready to deal with it. But there's a lot of baggage in life
Mm-hmm.
that we have sitting there for a lot longer than that was sitting there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I guess in my head, I wanted to like I read the phrase limiting beliefs, or see how you help people. You said, I think it says something to the effect you help people uh get over limiting beliefs. Um,
Hmm.
how does that even start? Like, what, I'm not saying go through the whole process, but like how does that start? How do you even start to even acknowledge, hey, I have a limiting belief, and then now I got to get over it.
I think for me, it was kind of like a mindset shift, right? It was how I was looking at myself in the mirror. Like I honestly will say, and even to this day, sometimes I don't see myself the way other people see me. Like when people meet me, like even when Dawn is like, "Oh, she's a sweetheart of this," or people meet me, like it takes me a while because, like, for a while, I didn't see what other people saw in me, right? And so I think for me, it was really about a mindset shift, right? It was really also recognizing that it's okay to acknowledge, right, that like I said to someone recently, it took me a long time to even acknowledge that I'm a beast in my field, right? As an HR professional,
Come
right?
on.
Like it took me a while to say that. Like I'm a beast. I'm an expert. Like when it comes to HR, if we're having a conversation, my confidence level is sky high, right? Versus my confidence as a in my personal self, right? And so that's an area that I think I had to work on, was really just acknowledging that I am a great person, that I am a kind person, that I am a good person, that I do deserve good stuff. But it also was, I went through a period where I intentionally was like, yo, it's about me and God in the word, what he says about me, who I am, like really just beginning to see that too. I'm like, yo, God means for you to live an abundant life. He mean you are wonderfully made, right? You are a beautiful person, not just on the outside, but on the inside too, right? So it really was me starting to really just affirm that in myself, right? Just start to really affirm in myself who I am and who I was. Like I will tell you, like the funniest story, like when I met Dr. Elaine, and she probably doesn't even remember this. I was at an event that my god sister gives every year. And once again, I was showing up. I was not in the mood to be there. I didn't want to be there, but I was like, I go to this event every year, I'm gonna show up. I showed up not like the Theodora that I usually am. And when I go on these, I had on a hoodie, jeans, and some Tims, and a cap.
Come on, New York.
Say whatever you want to say. I wasn't in my little church dress. I wasn't all dressed up like the other women. I really didn't want to be there. You could tell. But I needed to be there. And I didn't even know I needed to be there because that's where I met Dr. Elaine. And her story breathed something into me, right? Then, there was a woman sitting across from me that I met, and my connection will her breathe something into me, right? And so I also believe throughout my life, without me even realizing it, God has connected me with some amazing people that have also helped me to see what I couldn't see in myself as well.
That's good stuff. All right. So before we get to some feedback on what she shared, um, Justin, I see your wheel spinning. Welcome in.
Tomorrow, you know we're gonna get a poem.
Did you know it ain't gonna be tomorrow? It'll probably be before we even get off of here. Welcome in, Sir Eric. Good to see you. Thank you for joining tonight. Welcome, welcome in, Moose Poet MB Strength. Listen, y'all. Moose, aka Moses, is in the building, and he's gonna be here with us on what day, y'all? 9/11, right? For the men's lounge, right? That's that next week, right? He's
Yeah.
coming through. The men gonna represent and hold it down. Welcome in, welcome in. I want to make sure we get through these comments. Harlem Girl says you are stronger than what you believe.
Mhm.
And that's true. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that right there because that kind of perhaps ties into Justin's question. um, and I do have a thought on that. Let's see. She also says, let's see. It comes like that. All right, one of y'all got to read it for me because
It
y'all know.
comes like that, but it is to build you.
True, true. No weapon formed against will prosper. That's right.
So
It,
too.
it don't mean it won't. Don't mean it won't hit. It just won't do what it was intended to do. You know, that's the beautiful thing. I said, letting go, giving it to God. I said, or whatever your moral compass is, let it go and give it where it should be. Um, let's see. Dr. Elaine says, we spend our adult lives working out our childhood traumas. And that is so true because as children, we don't know how to handle what happens to us. We don't know. It takes time, experience, and maturity. So we're carrying these things along with us all this time, until,
Mhm.
until, Harlem Girl says, fighting yourself. She also says, it's time to choose you. Now, see you talking.
That's it.
Now that's my thing. That right there. Listen, I'm. It's this. I have a hoodie that says "It's me season," and if
Yep.
I can wear that thing every single day, because I mean that thing with my whole heart.
Yep.
My season is a whole lot more than 4 months. I'm just saying. Christy Thomas, welcome in. She said, "My bro Justin."
Mhm.
Holograss says, "Hey, beautiful." Dr. Elaine says, "Giving yourself grace and understanding it is a process." And that is another good point, too, as well. Um, do we really know what I think of with that is, do we really know what grace looks like? Number one. And number two, how is it that we know what grace looks like for other people,
Mhm.
but we don't know what it looks like for us? How come we can give grace and extend grace to other people, but it is hard for us to give it to ourselves? Which goes back to Harlem Girl's comment about it's time to choose you. You deserve the same grace that we deserve the same grace that we give to others.
Yep.
And we need to give it to ourselves first. Sir Eric is welcoming the people. Dr. Elaine says to Theo is divine connection.
It was.
And she also says it's beautiful. She also says, Theo, you are dope. Say what now? For sure. Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. And then some. And Moose Be Strength, aka our Moses, because I just kept calling him Moses forever. He is in it. Big up, big up. That's right. He's gonna be here next week with the fellas, holding it down, having some men's lounge conversation and sharing, helping our men folk heal and get right. Um, So now that we've caught up on our comments, um,
Baby sis, can I say something real quick?
absolutely, please do jump in, y'all.
I've seen a couple of comments that said we spend our adult life ironing out our issues. This is the statement I'm about to make is not a statement of
Let me find it. That was Dr.
telling
Ellen.
people telling people how to grieve. But on some levels with some of the things that we go through, I think it's important that we understand that how long we go through anything, we do have a say about it,
Right.
right? So now some things that some people went through, it may take them a lifetime,
Yeah.
right? But it's but not necessarily take every adult a lifetime to get through. It all depends on each individual case.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Like when I started working on mine, I gave expiration dates, I gave eviction notices. I got to work,
Mhm.
right? And also, just because a person is able to do that, don't necessarily mean they didn't go through nothing either. It's just they decided, like we talking, make a choice. They made a choice not to take their adult life to go through all the issues and decided to deal with it, take time to deal with it, become healthy, and then begin enjoying life.
Mhm. Yeah. And I think the other thing too for me is, right, as I went through my journey, and I don't know if other people have experienced this. I didn't even know some of the stuff I needed to heal from. I didn't even know I needed to heal from it. Right? So that was another thing, which is why it was so important. Like I think I wrote in the book that I wanted to heal responsibly. I think I said that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
people was like, "What do you mean by that?" And what I meant by that is like I wanted it to be about me. Like I didn't want to sit in a therapy session and talk about what happened to me, right? I wanted to really figure out, like, right, why I was moving the way I was moving and all of that. Because here's the reality for me also is as I began to heal, I began to realize, like I said before, there were some things that I had no control over, but there were some things that I did. And there were some things that I either chose not to see, wrote my own narrative about it, right? Made up the story that I wanted it to be, right? And so at one point, I think I was so down and depressed because I was no longer even upset about the last situation that had took me over the edge. I was more or less disappointed in myself, right?
Yeah.
And so I had to deal with that, right? I had to. So there were, and then there were things that came up that I was like, wow, I didn't know that this might be why I did this, right? And so I really do think that it's a process that is forever evolving and changing. Like I truly do feel like we are always healing from something. And for me, and I can only speak for me, my healing journey is one that has taught me how to better deal with things that come up now that I will need to heal from, if that makes sense. Right? It's kind of like I have a little toolbox, right, between my therapist, right, that I see, and coaching and my God, right, that I now probably can bounce back a little quicker from some things because I have a little mechanism for it. But the other thing I will say is being someone that loves the Lord very much, I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I don't really want to hear somebody's quoting me the scripture. I don't want to hear no weapon formed against me will prosper. I don't want to hear that, God will never leave me or forsake me. I don't want to hear that he's in a better place, right? I don't want to hear, right? Like I got to a point where it's like, yo, I love God with all of my heart. But okay, Christian folk, right about now, I'm trying to deal in practicality.
Right. But right now it hurts. Right.
Because it hurts. And I need you to understand that it hurts. And so I think people also need to recognize is that this is something I learned in not only in my journey, but when one of my really close friends lost her son unexpectedly. He got shot. Something that I learned is sometimes we just need you to sit and be still. Sometimes people don't need you to say anything. They don't need you to ask questions. They don't need you to. They just need you to your presence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, not to take anything away from God. God is all powerful. He is my everything. But there was a point where I was like, you know what? I can't today. I can't. And I need you to understand that, and I need you to respect that. I don't need you to make me feel even worse because I'm not embracing the scriptures or the way you are trying to help me get over what I'm trying to get over.
No, and that's good, and it's true. Um, we do have to, when people are going through their healing process of whatever it is, or whatever it's from. No two people heal the same.
Yeah.
So we have to stop putting an expectation on how this person should feel. It's horrible when you are expressing to someone that I feel this way, and the response is, don't feel that way. Or they come back with, well, when I was going through it, let me tell because it diminishes your journey and your moment. And we have to allow each other to feel what we are feeling. I've learned to affirm, not so much validate, but affirm what someone is feeling and saying, okay, and you have every right to feel that way. Why? Because something happened that made you feel, and
Yeah.
that, and you have the right to feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because then we're letting each other know that you're heard. Like, I hear you and I see you. I don't have to agree with it, but I need to be able to see you, in it, and affirm that you have a feeling right now.
Yeah.
And after you get it out and you tell me what it is, then we can talk through it. And that's where that unpacking starts to begin in that process. Oh, hold on. The beautiful Pastor Sheila, the curator of this amazing network, is in the building. Hi, Auntie Sheila. She's
Yeah.
to the host panel and chat. We love you.
Yeah.
We love you. Thank you for coming on through. And while I am in the chat, let's see what else. Um, let's see. Poet MB Strength says exactly. Oh, I done missed a comment. So sorry. He says, read that for me, Theo. I can't see no more.
He said a
It
great
says,
friend. Go ahead, Justin. Go ahead.
a great friend expressed to me that sometimes you got to let people be in their fields and work it out.
Hmm. Hmm. What
Mhm.
say you about that, Justin? Do you agree? Disagree? Where you
Oh
at
no,
with?
I wholeheartedly agree with that. Um the process of it, as I go through the process of healing, I'm like literally sitting here right now appreciating God for even the people on this panel, because since I've been coming here, you all don't know how many times we've been having a conversation, and something that I've been kind of working on forever just kind of falls into place. Um, and it don't come from so much being able to hear advice from others. Sometimes it's just getting to a place where you feel safe enough to say it to
Mhm.
somebody else. And so yeah, I definitely believe it is absolutely necessary to be an even better listener than advice giver.
Yeah.
Um, when you're working with people or helping people, or being a friend, or a loved one to someone. Um, yeah, I definitely think sometimes people have to feel those feelings, because a lot of what my trauma has been is not feeling the feelings, not allowing my humanity to function,
Mm-hmm.
having to be tough and strong and all of that stuff. And then you finally get a chance to just experience your humanity, and it's like, oh my God, this feels great.
Yeah.
Better than a back massage. So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
So while you say that, I want to just put a pin in that right there. You said, we have to. Why do, and we don't have to answer right now, but I want to put it out there. Y'all know I go left.
Mhm.
Why do we have to be strong? Why do you have to? Someone told us that somewhere, but if there are times when we need strength, yes, but even in our weakness, it doesn't mean that there is no strength. It just means that right now there is something else that's overwhelming my strength in the moment. But we don't have to be, you are allowed to have feelings and have what they are. And I say that because somebody needs to hear it, you
Yeah.
know, because until a lot of things we don't know, we're allowed to say or feel or do until someone releases us from the thought that we once had. So for all those who need freedom today, I just want to be able to say and help release you. You are allowed to not be strong. And not always standing in your strength doesn't mean you're
Mhm.
displaying weakness. It means that you are showing humanity.
Yeah.
And it is okay for you to be in touch with your feelings. We just can't stay in them all the time.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna read through these comments, and then I want Eric to share, and I wanted to comment on something that Rock said as well. Harlem Girl says it takes time to process, allowing oneself to heal in their own time. Exactly. I get a little. I get a little ornery. I get a little, because when people are telling me, like, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Don't tell me how to feel. Let me feel what I'm feeling. I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Sometimes if we let someone feel what they're feeling, they will get through it
Yeah.
fast. Because I'm acknowledging this happened.
Yeah.
When we tell kids don't cry, when they fall, bruh, my knee is bleeding like it's scraped up to the white meat. What you mean don't cry? I didn't even know I had white meat in there. What do you expect me to do? I'm feeling something that's not normal. What are you talking about? Let people feel. I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not.
No, I mean, listen, that's real, but I think that comes from a lot of places, right? Like that, I think for me, it was also, I felt like a lot of stuff just growing up, I had to figure out on my own, right? And so then it got me to the point where I didn't really depend on anybody else. All right. So I think that happens to some people, right? So yeah, it comes from a lot of places. But I think when you realize that it's not something you have to be, it's freeing.
And I think when you tell people don't feel this way, this is where, okay, we're talking about healing is a choice. But when I start telling someone don't feel like this and don't do this and don't do, I'm taking away their choice.
Yeah.
And who wants that? Like, you don't get to take away my choice in how I feel, how I react or respond. And we have to stop doing that to one another, because we don't heal. Matter of fact, you push me more into my pain
Yep.
when we do. Moose says, look at the creator's blessings to you, Justin.
Mhm.
Big it up, big it up.
Mhm.
It says, I totally agree at Harlem Girls. Moose is cracking up. I don't know what we said, but I'm sure it was fun. Probably, I don't know. Y'all know I don't have no sense. Harlem Girl says, when one is weak, they are made strong. Right. How will I ever no one starts out with 1,000,001 muscles. You gotta work it out. And in the beginning, I feel weak because I haven't exercised it. Same thing with our emotions. Same thing with our spirit. Same thing with our intellect. It's we gotta grow in this thing. Welcome in, Vaughn, the Invisible Man. Eric is in the building. He says blessings all. Y'all know one of those L's is for you. So snatch it because he greets everyone. Good to see you, sir. And Moose says blessings, Eric. Blessings too. So before Eric jumps in, I just want to say this because Rock made a point about you gave an eviction notice to those things, right? But then I want us to consider this. which is great. If we were talking about healing as a choice, you're deciding that you're not going to sit in something for so long, that you're not going to stay in anything this long. And I believe in that also. And each and every day, I give myself till midnight for whatever it is that I'm feeling, what I'm going through, whatever emotion I might be expressing. I just, I give myself till midnight, and that's it. Now, how I wake up feeling tomorrow should be better than what I felt today, even if I'm not 100% there.
Yeah.
But I made it through yesterday. But what came to my mind was, that's fine and that's wonderful when we can give our those things eviction notices. But what happens when we partner with this thing? We partner with our feelings. We let those things, these pains, these traumas become a part of who we are. We welcome them now. Now it's a part of who I am. So now I don't want to give it. I'm not. My mind is not to give it an eviction notice because this is just who I am now. A lot of us walk around in bitterness saying that this is just who we are now, when it's not who we are now. It's not who you have to be. You decided to partner with this thing, and that, I believe, becomes a part of how some of us self-protect, or we think we're protecting ourselves from the next thing by holding on to the last thing. So I don't have to. I'm not gonna re-expose myself to, another new pain. So Eric, jump in. Come on and share something. Say something. You've been sitting here for a minute.
You,
Welcome
you
in.
so, you've been so quiet. You know what? Maybe because Paris is not here tonight. You missing Paris?
No, that's not it. I had a lot going on going on with work and everything, but I was trying to no, please don't. I was trying to log on at 7 o'clock, and for some reason I just couldn't because I was trying to finish up my work.
Yeah.
But as far um, yes, healing is a choice. Um, I have a cousin that I had to do the year 2025. This is the year 2025, and this is truth. And also, um, she's going through an issue, and I had to tell her that the issue that you're going through, you brought on yourself. But you had the opportunity to walk away from that issue, but you chose to keep that issue in your life, and now you want to try and say, "Oh, it wasn't me. It's what happened to me when I was young, when I was younger." And I was like, "Yo, cuz, I've been around you since we've been around each other since we were 7 years old." And so, well, if you was going through this, somebody would have known about it. One of us, one of the cousins would have known about it. And for you to hold it in 50 years is kind of crazy. And I told her, you have a choice. You can either continue to let this situation ride on your shoulder, or you can drop it and get the help that you need to move on. Her biggest complaint is her not not being able to hold a job because she can hardly walk. And I said, because you brought that on yourself. You had a choice. You chose the situation over your livelihood. So this is the result of that. You can't, I don't want to bring this up, but you can't you can't say I love God and I'm going to trust God, but then you're going to turn around and do the same thing that got you in this situation, and you're expecting God to get you out of this situation each and every time.
Oh, sure we
At
are.
some point, God is going to sit back, he's going to fold his arms and be like, okay, you're going to have to work this out yourself. Because I tried helping you, and you're not listening to what you need. You're not listening to what needs to get done to get the help that you need. And or I mean, we all go through stuff, and yes, healing is a choice. And or I'm not gonna wallow in pittiness and endanger my health. I'm gonna find a solution to get past the situation that is holding me back, so I can heal, so I can move on to better myself. So that way, as I better myself, I can better the next person that's having an issue.
Well, and thank you for that share. Um, oh, okay. Thank you, Moose. He So he was laughing at to the white meat. It was the white meat. Harlem girl said, "Speak." Let's see. Theo, I'm gonna let you read Mama's comment because she got a lot of words happening there.
She said, healing is a choice, just like the choice we make in what to wear, of what to eat. We think about which meal would taste better to me, works the same way. Which is best for me, pain or freedom?
Amen, Mama.
Let
Amen.
me tell you something. There is when and not to put minimize anybody's healing journey, but for me, my healing journey was freeing. Right? I always thought I was authentic, but I was like, yo, you really wasn't being authentic. Right? Now I am authentic. Like if I will easily say to you, you know what? I'm not good today. I don't have much for you. Right? Whereas before you asked me how you doing, oh, I'm good, I'm great. Like I'm taking everything in from everybody. Like my boundaries are strong, right? I'm still the same person, but now I'm that person with boundaries because I have chosen me, right? I have chosen me. I've chosen like I made a decision in 2020 that the life I was creating for me was going to be a life of peace and harmony. So if you disturb my peace, we got to reevaluate where you are at, right, in my life, right? And one other thing I want to say is definitely when it comes to people giving you a time frame for healing, you heal the way you need to heal. So I will say to a lot of people, for me, when it comes to the loss of my dad, right? My uncle who was like a dad to me, my god brother who passed away at 50, right? I made a decision that the way I deal with the loss of those individuals is I live my life in a way to honor them, which means I wake up every day grateful to be alive. I wake up every day trying to be the best person that I can be. I might not always be it, but the way I honor the people that are no longer here is to live,
Hmm.
right? Because I think sometimes we go into this space of woe is me, and we let the little things like take us out. And it's cool. That still happens. I'm not perfect, but I don't stay there because I remember that there's somebody on that I loved who is no longer here. And so like for my dad loved ice cream. Every night he came home, he would eat ice cream. And I finally realized, it took me to recently realize it probably was because he had another addiction that he gave up a long time ago, and that replaced that addiction, right? But every year on his birthday and on Father's Day, I go somewhere, I have me some ice cream, I sit somewhere and I'm having ice cream with my dad. That's how I honor his memory, right? And that helps me not to fall into this space of, oh my God, I miss my dad. Yeah, I still miss him, but I try to do the things that I know he enjoyed, right? Same thing with my god brother, right? I just think about all the good times we have, all the laughs we had, right? And so I would say to people, right, like you and I believe this about just our life, right? When we're intentional, we are able to really craft how we live, right? We get to write our narrative,
Hmm.
right? I mean, God has a plan for us. And so we do have to be obedient and follow that plan. But we do get to write our narrative. And that comes down to us not following God's plan, which often gets us in trouble. But the other side of it is, I truly do believe that we have choices in everything, like mom said, right? What we eat, what we wear, if we heal, how we operate. And when we don't make, and that's what I learned in my healing journey, right? I was upset at people for choices that I made.
Right.
And so I had to release that. That was part of the healing. I had to release, like, okay, yeah, they did that and it was foul or whatever, but you know what, little girl? You saw what you wanted to see. You heard what you wanted to hear. You made excuses for their behavior. You dimmed your light. You did whatever. I had to recognize that, you know what, little girl? Some of this is because you made a choice to accept that behavior from that person. You made a choice to stay in that situation when you knew it wasn't good. You made a choice when they weren't showing you something, you made an excuse for why, right? And so I think that's another thing that's another reason why people avoid healing, because you got to deal with yourself.
Right. Definitely. I put that there. It don't start. You can't blame everybody else forever.
Yeah,
You know, because people only do to you what you allow them to do.
exactly.
But we do, and there's some situations that we initiate, that we, like you're saying. Um, no, you're
And then
right.
there's
You're
some
right.
stuff
We
that
got to
really comes to you that you can't control, that is foul. And then you just have to figure out how you're going to handle it.
hmm I think that we I know we have a lot of conversations on, some of these topics are, just trigger words and whatnot. When we talk about safety and we talk about healing because it's the new and it's the in thing and it's the trending thing and all of that, but the truth of the matter to me is that, healing is something that is so important and necessary for us to take our time with, because it affects everything that you do. It affects every choice that you make. It affects everything that you pick. It affects how you show up. It affects where you show up. And Eric made the point of, you can't ask God to do something or do before it, and you keep showing up back in the same situation. You keep inviting, you keep putting yourself back there, and I'm like, I hear you and I respect that statement, and I totally understood in the spirit of what you meant it, but I just want to add on to that, like, yes, we can. It's called cycles.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we end up in cycles, and we all have been in cycles. We are all still in cycles.
Yep.
Cycles are not good when they're not producing what is conducive to push us forward. That's when a cycle is not good, because if you have a cycle, you have a habit of doing something one way and this is yielding you money, when I practice this way, or when I show up this way, or when I sell this, that's how businesses are built and formed. It's like, I'm gonna make this product, I'm gonna sell 20. Okay, this 20 sold. Okay, I'm gonna repeat the formula. It's one of the things that they teach you in business. Keep working what works. So cycles can work for you, but the problem is we keep choosing to repeat the cycles that are not producing us anything, and this is where we come to the point of, what is it? Insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result, and that's why we end up is those things, that we have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to be willing to separate ourselves from. You got to be willing to take that slow walk through, because if you really want to be better, if you really want to do better, you can't say you want a good quality or high value or whatever term you want to use person in your life. And don't get me wrong, because I used to, enjoy a good two-step myself when we used to go to the club.
Say it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Say it.
The arrogance is from the time we get out the car. Like, I ain't even hear the music yet, but I'm already ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's me. Like, I love music. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Yes.
I'm not mad at that. But you know what? Going into a certain environments, you're not gonna find what you're looking for by going every club, every jazz bar. Is not the same. It brings different qualities of people. So you can't go, and this is not to say that good people don't exist everywhere, because I want y'all to hear it in the spirit of which is given, but I'm just gonna keep it 100. Y'all know how I do.
Mhm.
You can't expect that $1 million man up in the hood spot, you know, in the corner store and all of that. And it's not to say that they don't go there, but you understand my point,
Yeah.
you know. And you keep going to these places and you keep doing these things, thinking, saying that this is what you want. But we have to be willing to upgrade ourselves so that we can show up differently, so we can change our environments, start getting around other people and other things. You want to get healed, get around healed people.
Yeah.
Get around people who are progressing in their journey of healing. And I say this to those of us who are progressing in our journey of healing. When someone comes into our company who is trying to heal, we should not turn away. We should not become frustrated. We should not now, you know, want to turn up our nose and walk away and talk down on them, because we were once starting where they are at. It's the point. Never forget where we came from. We got to celebrate the fact that somebody else is trying to get it right for them. You know, we have to celebrate them. So we got to then incorporate them into our community,
Yeah.
you know, and embrace them, because how else are they going to learn this process of healing if they're not exposed to people who are successfully in the process of healing? And I don't mean perfect. I don't mean you didn't fall. I don't mean that you didn't get it wrong somewhere along the line of your process, but let them see how you fall and then let them see how you get up. You know what I'm saying? Because they're making the choice that I want to do different. We are making the choices that I want to be better. I say it a lot on Monday nights. You know, I really learned in a relationship space, like, I don't want to be right anymore. I want to get it right.
Yeah.
So I'm learning to slow down. I'm learning to listen, which is big for me. Because typically, if you don't catch me within the first, the 16.2 seconds, I'm like, I ain't trying to hear you. Like, yeah, I know my time. I'm just saying. Don't say nothing, Eric. Um, you know, but I had to learn how to listen. Like I said, because he's known me for over 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So he's seen me in a whole bunch of seasons. But I had to learn how to sit in the things that are uncomfortable for me and figure out why are they uncomfortable for me, so that I could get it, because it's not the other person, it's me.
Mm-hmm.
It's something about what's happening and what they're saying is now is hitting me. It's disturbing me because they're fine. So it's triggering something that I have unresolved. I wrote down earlier, unhealed things become infected.
Yep. But I will say too, like literally,
I want y'all to share, but I have some
if you
questions too.
want to heal, get
Oh,
this book.
girl, you laughing at me?
You see the book. Courageous Vulnerability. I'm sorry. I gotta big up my brother, like for real.
What?
Like
What?
this this
Walk
this book is
with it every day.
it
I
is
just got my other 3 copies the other day. Thank you, Justin.
it is thought provoking. It is
Thank you.
it makes you sit back and really think. Because I truly believe we're always healing from something. Like that journey does not happen. That it doesn't stop, right? Like it does not stop. You're always healing from something. But I literally like I like you see I got like little papers in here, everything, right? Markers. um, you know, because it's real. And that's another thing I think. Like your healing journey needs to be real.
If it's not, like, what are we doing? You know,
Right.
like,
That's
I
what
can
I'm
spend my
saying. It's real. Because I could tell you many a times when I thought, oh, I'm healed, I got over that, right? But it wasn't until this last time the last time when I went through it, like I invested in not only therapy, because my job, my medical insurance paid for that, but I invested in a coach. So I did both at the same time, right? And that was huge, right? Because I could have made up any reason why I couldn't afford to pay for a coach, but then I realized how valuable it was that I became one, right? And in all reality, I've been coaching people all my career, but
Girl.
this is different, right? But literally, this book will make you really think. Like sometimes I'll be like, why you got all these questions?
Let's
Like literally, like I'll be reading that, and then I'll be like, why you got all these questions? Like, right? Because it could take me days to get through one question.
I'm still stuck from last week. Okay. I ain't gonna lie. I'm still stuck. Because made me mirror, put the mirror up, seeing myself like, dang. Now
But
that
I think
can't
that's the beauty
understand
of
how
what
to
you said. I think that's the beauty of what you said of being in a community of people, right? Who there's no judgment, right? You're able to speak freely. You're able to share. And honestly, the old me would never find me on any podcast anywhere talking to you about anything that happened to me.
you can talk to
Right?
me.
But then but then I realized, right, that there's somebody out there that will resonate with one thing that I might say that might help somebody, right? And so I was like, I needed to be obedient to God and share my story in the hopes of helping somebody else, right?
Mhm.
But that's like that's for real. He did. He displayed this like and I mean I get the benefit of getting like little extra ones in the
Come on. Come on. Got the VIP, the inner, because I'm still stuck. Still stuck. But he did. Justin did, and I agree. And I agree. Justin definitely did. I want to just pause for a second and welcome everybody into the room, even those who are up in the expensive sections, the silent seats, because I don't think I greeted y'all earlier, but y'all know we love you here on the Bravo Network. If y'all can hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the network. I promise you, we have great conversations over here. We take slow walks on Thursday nights and we dig deep because we want to do better and be better. We not, just a bunch of Q&A and then, we off for the night. We don't do that. Here we sit, we talk, we sit in it and we sit in it together because we want to be better and we do better, as we said, in community. So I just wanted to pause and I want to thank everyone in the comments who is engaging. Harlem girl, listen, you it tonight. I want to thank you guys. We're not over yet. We're not done, but I just wanted to really pause and say that. Rochelle says listening and okay, all right. Well, thank you for joining us on tonight. All right. We thank you for tuning in with us and for being here. Again, we're not done yet because I have some questions for the panel. I don't want y'all to just be silent. Me and Theo, we sit up here, we chatting. We sorry, fellas. We just acting like y'all ain't there and y'all trying to be all polite about it.
jump in. Y'all better jump in.
I know you better unmute their mics and jump in because it becomes so good, and none of this, I don't do scripts on Thursday nights. We have free flowing conversation because we want the conversation to evolve. We want the conversation to take a life and breath of its own. So when you're seeing us, you are getting us legitimately in real time, nothing practiced, nothing, and I just want to say to Theo, she was gonna be on my podcast, whether she wanted to or not. Pretty much, I hate to say it, everybody up here. I don't take no very well. I don't think
She definitely does not take no very, very well.
I thought Eric was saying something. I was gonna say no, it's never been. You say no to me, I'll start blinking like I don't know what that is. What are we saying?
Yeah. She'll start cripping out on you.
I sure will, because I don't know what no means. I'm like, what is that? What do you mean no? Like y'all go
bad, but I don't say no.
Okay, you know what? Big bro is
Big bro. Baby sis, let's discuss it.
That's just how he approaches it. He'd be like, baby sis. I'm like, big bro. He's like, but yeah, you know what? You're right. He's never told me no. He'd be like, okay. But that's love, y'all. That's love. And I appreciate it. That's love and trust. Because you know what? I have most of the most amazing and dynamic people in my life, and they are up here on this panel. But yeah, no will send me off into some other kind of spin. I start tweaking. But I'm working on it. I'm not totally reformed yet.
I'm not totally reformed yet.
I hear it. I can hear it now, but I'm still trying to understand what no mean. Like, what do you mean no? Because I no, you mean you don't want to, or who? Because who can't? Because I'm gonna do it. So as we move further in the conversation, and yes, those of you we correct. Really, Eric? That's what we're doing. I said I've gotten better. I can hear the word no now without.
I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting here minding my business. I'm drinking my tea.
I
I'm
thought you
chilling.
said something. Okay, all right, my bad. I'm sorry. All right, so listen, for those of you who don't have this book, I know that we're not talking about this tonight, but I promise you we are talking about this tonight. We're gonna talk about this book till forever. I don't even care. Like,
Yes.
we're gonna be in
Until
heaven.
number 3 come out.
Listen, we're gonna be in heaven having a book club meeting on courageous vulnerability. All right, I'm gonna ask God right now if He could set a section up for us with some refreshments so we can sit talk about it. But y'all need to go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Get a few. I promise you to bless your life. You want to talk about healing is a choice? Make the choice because you don't know where to start. Start here. Start
Yep.
here with this. So I got a couple of questions that I do want to ask that I've kind of that have been coming to my mind as we walk through this discussion tonight. So my first question I want to give to Justin. And don't worry, y'all. I don't want y'all. Don't be nervous, y'all. I'm on my best behavior today. Okay, I promise. It's nothing left. And because the last time I did that, y'all all was like, "Oh God," everybody got. So I want to ask you, with the mask of, and these are things that Theo said in the beginning. And I want us to share and chat. Y'all can. Sorry. That's my mama, y'all. She says no definitely means no. Fine, mom. I still don't like it. I don't understand what it means. Back to the show. Justin, with this mask of I'm okay, which is something that we often say. Hologram, listen, y'all never invite your mama to like the panel because she comes on sometimes, but she there's always some cut up and tomfoolery that goes on Thursday nights. It doesn't even matter. See, what are we 2 minutes to the turning of the corner? Um,
We turned the corner a long time ago.
we did. We carrying on from August. August was a whole month of after dark, so we just after dark. Oh, you know what? Just for the rest of the year, we after dark. Um, but so Justin, my question. I'm gonna get serious so I can ask this question. Um, with this mask of I'm okay, which is usually how a lot of us respond to our questions. What Theo was saying about how, knowing that she's not all right and knowing that things are not okay, knowing how things may be really feeling internally, but we talk about I'm okay. And as you expressed before about the need to show that I'm strong, to put on that strong coat, like I can't feel and show that emotion. With this mask of I'm okay, how does that or does that hurt our, how does it affect our choice to heal? Does it prolong our healing or our decision to heal? Or can it possibly protect us while we're healing? What are your thoughts?
I think it can be both. I think if you're talking to somebody that you don't feel is interested in your safety, then I'm okay is a defense mechanism. Um, but then if you're just trying to maintain the thoughts that people have had of you historically and you're hurting, but you got to keep up the front, then you're hurting yourself. Um, to me, that's what that is. I've done it. forever. Now if I say I'm okay, I'm either really okay or I don't trust the person. Um, and my I'm okay is I'm okay with not sharing that with you. I'm gonna call my people
Okay.
because you not safe. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so yeah, not because it's not. Yeah, I think because I one of the things that I wanted to
Write that
say
one
that I
down. I'm not
appreciate.
okay with you. I'm writing that one down because that's life giving right there.
I appreciate you know y'all saying what y'all said about the book, but the thing for me that the one of the things that I love the most about it is it does create a space for us to be able to have conversations like this. And for weeks now, I've found myself in communities of people who are healing, and that's what we have. I think that that's what is going to allow more people to heal. As is that those of us who are doing it, do it out loud, and those of us like Coach who have the ability to be able to help people in it to be able to face fear because that like honestly facing fear is why I started therapy. I got so sick of being fearful that I'm
Mm,
like, okay, I gotta overcome this fear because in my head I'm like, when I was acting like a knucklehood and living very risky behavior, that fear wasn't there. But now I got this fear of succeeding and doing something. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I legit I'm telling you when I say y'all have helped me just listening to Coach say, I'm I want to know about the landing page. She don't know this, but I didn't think it was worth the landing page until she said it. I'm like, maybe it is worth the landing page. So just being in a space with people who actually will operate in that space of growth can help in putting your and putting your growth, the parts of your growth that can be displayed out there is a great benefit. So yeah, I'm saying out loud, I got two people I say I don't know to, I'm okay to, and that's people I don't trust and people who I know it just I can't help. But even in that, I have a core, I have people who are on this panel right now that I can call and say, hey, like y'all know I texted y'all earlier. I made a step forward. I made a step forward. Now I gotta tell you about how I got knocked back, but I did step forward.
you did it. You know you can do it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Oh God, yes.
And now you
Yeah.
know you got knocked back, but now you know that when you do step forward, now you'll know how to position and anchor yourself better the next time.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And that goes back to what Coach was saying. Um, it's a process. It's not like you can't think of healing as I'm gonna get over this one day.
Mm-mm.
It's I'm going to build myself up to be able to handle this better every day.
Yep.
Not I'm gonna get over it one day because, like she said earlier, you will be somewhere doing something with your mind nowhere near it, and then something happens and you trigger.
Hmm.
Um, and so it's a daily thing. It's
Yep.
it's daily prayer and daily meditation and daily informing yourself, whether that's in the word, reading a book,
Yeah.
having daily conversations, or being in a space where you can eat healthy information or consume healthy information on a daily basis. All of that stuff really helps. And so that's what I would say. Like I'm okay can be a defense and an offense.
Hmm.
Um, just make sure that if you're really not okay, you try your best to find a group of people, which Lady Dawn already volunteered and said, if you need somebody, we here. Um, find yourself a group of people that's gonna care enough about you as a human.
Yep.
Flat out, just all the base is your humanity.
Yep.
And find people who care about you as a human, that's gonna be honest with you, tell you, not necessarily tell you what you want to hear, but tell you what you need to hear.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Thank you for that. Listen, y'all don't I done learned something new. Welcome in, Landon. How are you, love? Good to see you. No, you put a new spin on I'm okay. Listen, I don't know, so I know how to. I'm gonna add that to my response bucket because I'm gonna use that on purpose like 9 times before tonight is over. I might just call people and just say it. I might just text them. I ain't even gonna wait for something.
No, no, no. Yeah.
Don't do that. That's not how we use that. Why wait? We healing. You know what I'm saying? We not okay. Theo said no. See, this is why I need friends and see your family because I need adult supervision. Don't trust me on my own. I'm doing all.
You
I
just
got
want
you.
to call it people.
You
I'm not.
me. I could be real reckless with me. So yeah, give me some boundaries because because I'm sitting here writing my list now. I'm gonna text you and oh no, I'm gonna call you. It's part of my healing. Healing. I'm healing. So, Sir Eric, because rockology,
Yeah, I know that rock up to something.
he probably, that's Big Bros. What he do? Eric, let me
Yes.
ask you this. When it comes to the healing
That's
journey,
big bro. That's what he do. What?
hi, Big Bro, love you.
Hey,
Hey,
love you too, baby.
welcome in. Um, I want to ask because I got a question for you, Big Bro. After I ask Eric this question, I'm gonna ask you another question. Eric, on the healing journey, um, the statement is not what I'm not what happened to me. Is it important for us to embrace this thought, or is this something that we should not even? A lot of times we, how do I want to put it? A lot of times we label ourselves what we've been through. And the truth of the matter is we are not what we've been through. We've experienced it, but that's not exactly who we are. So on the healing journey, do you think that this statement of I'm not what happened to me is a positive reminder or is it an unrealistic perception?
I'm not what happened to me is it's not a positive reminder. Um, I'm not what happened to me. It's not positive for
Is
me.
it something that you would use when you say I'm not what happened to me? Is it something that you would use to help push you forward
Well,
in your healing?
okay, so yes, because it's more of a when that statement is made, I'm not what's happened to me. It's telling the person that's not where I'm at now. That's where I used to be. That's where I was at before. I'm not there now. I worked on me. I worked on the situation, on working on healing myself to get past that situation. I was on the right side of the fence. I jumped over to the left because I knew the right side was holding me back. So I had to jump over to the left in order for me to move forward. It's like, um, let me just use this now. It's like the Wiz when Dorothy, when she was on the yellow brick road and the song came on, ease on down the road.
Is it the original version or Michael Jackson? Which one we talking?
No, the Michael Jackson, the Wiz, not the Wizard of Oz, the Wiz.
I just had to get clarity. Make sure you was,
That's right. It's the Wiz. So when when you look at that movie, it was more or less Dorothy trying to find her way back home. She did not want to. She did not want to stay where she was at because that wasn't her place to stay. She had a home to go back to, and she said she was going to get back there by any means necessary, which meant she had to pick up people who were broken along the way. And as she picked up these people, their confidence built. Their confidence was building that they could overcome what was holding them down. And when
Come
you
on
got
and cook, Eric. Come on and cook.
and when you got to the end of that road, and when you got to the end, um, Glenda the Goodrich, when she
Mm-hmm.
came out and so forth, and they started singing their song, and everybody started crying, and that's because they knew that they were now healed and not broken anymore, because they had to kill the wicked witch of the West in order to free themselves, because she was holding them down, telling them that they could not be no more than what they were. And it took Dorothy to tell them, including Richard Pryor when he was playing the whatever he was playing, that part that he was playing. It took Dorothy to tell all of them that you're more than what you are. You have to be able to see it in yourself. I see it in you, but you have to be able to see it in yourself. And she explained to each one of them what they had in them in order to move past what was holding them down.
All right.
I
He
love
said,
it. I
he
love
said,
that.
"Be the lion." That's what you're saying to people. No, that was good. Listen, you got
Now
Harlem
That was
I'm gonna be in the house looking at the Wiz and crying tomorrow.
Harlem girl went to
Oh,
church. All right, she done preach. Harlem girl, you know what? I'm gonna get you an offering, some juice, and a towel. I promise you, because she in it tonight. I love it. She said, knowing who you are. She said, glory with the hands raised, and she said, beautiful. Listen, I got you, girl. I got you. I got you.
go back up one.
Look who's here. Welcome in, Paris. Good to
Yeah, hello,
see you.
Paris.
oh, look
Come
at this. But
said, come.
that was good though, Eric. That was real. That was good.
Thank
It
you.
was good. It was relatable. Yeah, come on now. So I'm gonna leave Theo's question for last because she's our spotlight on tonight.
Oh Jesus.
Um, Big bro.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. See, I love you. I love my big brother, y'all. Um, on this healing journey, talk to us about the importance of self honesty. And I don't want to pre-suggest your response. So I would say rather, is self honesty, does it have an importance? How does self I put it okay, how does self honesty affect our choice to heal and our healing journey?
You was breaking up real bad. Can you say it again, please?
I'm sure was that I'm so sorry. I said in our healing, in our choice to heal and on this journey, how does self honesty affect our healing journey?
Oh, well, well, well. You have to be honest with yourself. That's the only way you can get healing. And like what I've learned, and I try to share with others, also when you on the healing journey, you have to correctly identify what you need to be healed, right? So, and what I mean by correctly identify, you have to call it what it is. You
Mm-hmm.
can't you can't you can't baby it or pamper it and think you're gonna get healing from it. You got
Right.
to call it what it is. So if I'm a person, is if I have narcissistic um characteristics, I need to call them for what they are and not try to downplay it. So self honesty is critical in healing. A lot of healing don't get done because we, we have to stop pampering and pacifying ourselves, right?
That's true.
And we really do, you know. And so self honesty, being honest with oneself. I should be more honest with myself than what any one of you on the panel say to me. I should, I got to be honest with myself.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
if Justin said something, he said, "Well, I see this characteristic. Whether I like what he said or not, for me to grow from that, I have to be honest with myself. He could say it from now to Christ come back, and nothing's going to take place until I stop and admit to myself that I need help in that area."
Right. Nothing changes until when nothing changes, as Pastor Sheila says, when nothing changes, nothing changes. And I love what you said about how, I should be able to be honest with myself. It's fun. Okay, see, here we go. It's funny how we lie to ourselves more than we lie to other people. And we ignore more things about ourselves. And we give excuse to more things about ourselves than we do to other people. But you're absolutely right. If I can't look me in the mirror and see my flaws and acknowledge it, and don't, you said, don't pacify it. Don't say, oh, well, that happened because, oh, and this is there because. It's there. It's just there. At a certain point, like, it doesn't matter why it's there. It's there. Acknowledge that it's there, because a lot of times we let the story live on so we don't have to fix what's wrong. And then we bring other people into us pacifying us by making them feel sorry for us, by causing them, triggering their compassion, towards us. And, oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you, and while that may be the truth, it doesn't push us out of that space. All it does is like it adds rooms onto the house of pain that you're already in. So that was really good, bro. Thank you for that. I love it. I love hearing from the panel. Harlem Girl says, removing those things that don't serve any purpose. That's right. You have to remove. Oh, goodness. Okay. So again, y'all know I go left. Sometimes we don't want to remove. We have to identify, is this thing really serving? It doesn't serve any purpose. But sometimes when we have partnered with our pain, we won't remove the thing because it's serving. The purpose that it's serving is allowing me to continue to sit in this. We got to look at the opposite side of it as well. So yeah, while we are, yeah, and I totally agree with you, but it just made me think about that, like removing the things that don't serve any purpose. But if I'm looking at my pain as the thing that allows me to stay in this space, then it's serving a purpose. It's serving my purpose that I don't have to. I don't have to do no better. I don't have to, and just for balance, in our conversation, because some of us are like that. Some of us are like that. I am very internal this year. I've been looking into self, and we have to be honest. It's funny because we will cheer and high five and amen and yes, girl, and you go, boy, when we're talking about the things that happen to us that other people do, when we're the victim. But what about when we are the initiator, or when we are the instigator, and the things that we don't want to let go, again, because it's our pain serves purpose. But let's be honest about it. If the thing that you don't want to let go is because it's giving validity to your pain for you to sit in there, that's the first thing that you need to let go. If you really want to heal and move forward, you got to make that choice. What you want to carry. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm back now, y'all. I'm sorry. I felt my preacher coming on. I felt it swelling up. I didn't want to go there. Paris says, okay, the Rock be throwing pebbles of knowledge. I'm here for it. Listen, Rock will get you right. He'll get you right. My bro will do that. Hollow Girl says, self-examine yourself every day and twice on the weekends. Absolutely. Eric says, that's not how the story ends. 3 days later, he rose again. That's love. Come on, E. Come. Oh, okay. He is having church in his box.
That
Y'all don't
that
tell the
popped into
preacher.
my head it was something that Rock had said, and it popped in my head when I was typing. I was like, oh wow. But yeah,
But you had church by yourself. It's okay. We here to
yeah,
support you. Got you. Paris says some people are comfortable in their pain. Right. And if that be the case, then that's serving that purpose. So you got to think about what that purpose is. But again, that's the very first thing that you need to work on letting go, is the thing that's keeping you in your pain. Not everyone is ready to do the work to heal. Absolutely. And that's what we're talking about. Healing is a choice. And we have to not be judgmental when people, or don't take it personal. Let's free ourselves. I don't mean free in spirit. Free yourself. Don't take it personal if someone decides they don't want to heal. That is no reflection on you. That is no reflection on your counsel. That is no reflection on your integrity, your character. It is not yours. It is not yours to carry. If they don't want to heal, then let them not. That's their what? Choice. The problem is we have problems with people's choices. Some people are making choices and we have a problem with their choice. So yeah, everybody's not ready. And we're not always going to be ready at the same time. That was good. It only delays the healing to further step into who you are designed to be. It only delays the healing to further step into who you are designed to be. Listen, I find that when you learn who you are, when you accept who you are, and when you embrace who you are, the one thing you can't do is stay the same. You literally will not allow yourself to stay where you were, because you're like, that where I was is so beneath me. I'm gonna say it just like, it's beneath me. It's not like me. I don't even know how I got there. It stinks over there. It ain't cute. I don't like it. All of those things. And it's not because you understand it now, who you were meant for more than this. I was not meant to be a dumping ground. I'm not meant to be, anybody's garbage can. We're not meant to be that. And I'm not meant to walk around in pain for the rest of my life. It's just not what we're meant to do. So it's true. When you find out who you are, and you walk in that, and you hold on to it, you will change. And Hallelujah says, that's right. That's it. Listen, when I finally accepted who I am, you can't tell me nothing now. And even though I'm still learning to embrace all that's me, I find that I'm scared of my own self. I'm scared of me. That's the problem. Like I'm afraid there are parts of me that are afraid of really becoming full throttle who I am. Because some people can't even handle us at a quarter tank, at a quarter of who we are. Justin, you think this book is, people can't handle you now with Courageous Vulnerability, the original? They really ain't gonna be able to handle you when it's volume 25 of Courageous Vulnerability. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to grow into who we are. And the more we heal, the more we're moving forward. So it's like, if you can't listen, y'all better put your seatbelt on. All right. Buckle up and stay safe out there, people. I'm just saying, Parrish said, praise him, Eric. I'll cut a step with you. He was having church in his box. So before we wrap it up tonight, I want to leave the last question to Coach Theo. And then I want to let everybody have their opportunity to share how they can be reached. I really, really appreciate you guys in this conversation. So we already touched on, who I am. And I think that's I don't know why I kind of want to linger in that place of the importance of knowing who you are and making that choice to heal. But I also, Coach Theo, I would like for you to touch on that point of how knowing who you are affects your choice to heal. But I also want you to touch on this thought of how unhealed things become infected. So if you can touch on those two things, for us as we wrap this up tonight. And I appreciate Coach Theo being in the spotlight, or AKA the hot seat, on tonight. All of our panel is going to have their day and time. But tonight is my sisters. So come on and share with us um, from those two spaces, please, ma'am.
So the first space was, what was it?
How knowing who you are affects your choice to heal. Since we're talking about healing as a choice.
I mean, I think for me, it was not knowing who I was that really prompted my healing, because I was identifying with titles, right? More so than who I was at my core. And so I think that prompted my healing. I remember there was a time where I was like trying to be everything to everybody. Every event, I'm showing up, I'm supporting you, I'm here, I'm there, I'm all over the place, right? And part of it, I think, was, trying to fill a void that I probably didn't even know what it was. But I do believe that, I will say, when I start working with my clients, that is one of the first things that we talk about is identity. Like, who are you? Without the title, right? Without the title of mother, father, brother, sister, CEO, CHRO, nurse, whatever, right? Like, who are you at your core, right? And so I really do think that knowing who you are can definitely define how you go through your healing process, right? Not so much the healing, but how you go through it, right? I mean, for me, it was a period of me just really starting to be intentional, which I think was a turning point for me. I mean, I've always been driven. I have like a type A personality, but I was all over the place, right? Trying to do all types of things. And it wasn't until I really was like, you know what? What's making you tick? Like, I've always struggled with functional depression. There's a term for it that my therapist would use, but I just say functional depression, right? And I think a lot of us do that, right? Like, something happens, it sends us into like a little tailspin or whatever, right? But I used to really go there, and to manage it, I was busy, right? I was doing all kinds of things. So I think for me, taking the time to be intentional about figuring out who I was really important to my healing journey. Like, I can't tell you how freeing it, like a lot of the moves I made, right? Like becoming an author, picking up and moving from Jersey to North Carolina in 60 days, right? Like, just right, just some of the decisions I made, right? It was just like freeing, even down to the style, right? Right, even down to deciding to just be all natural, sister locks, whatever, right? It was just really embracing who I am, everything about me, every flaw, every, good thing, everything that's not so good. It was just really just being comfortable in my own skin, right? And so I think that's where identity and who you are plays a part in healing, especially for me, right? Like, I always am going to say I can speak for me, right? It also put me in this space where God was probably tired of me. He probably was like, little girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere and let somebody else get in here, right? Because I was in the word. I just wanted to hear his voice, right? I wanted to just hear his voice. Like, I wanted to get much closer to him than I was, right? And so for me, it's been a journey. Like I feel like so free. Like, there are days, like you just said, I wake up and I'm like, who is this person? Right? Who is this person that's not afraid to share how they're really feeling? Who is this person that's not afraid to really tell people the truth, right? About who she is and what she's going through and what she's struggling with, right? You know, my one of my male cousins, he's like my brother. Like we have real like just conversation. Like he's the one that he will just be keep it real with me. But now our conversations are even so much better because I don't hold back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing with like my friends and family, So I think that, it really has been and exactly what Harlem Girl is saying. Like I got to a point where I was just still. I wasn't running all like I wasn't accepting every invitation. I didn't feel like I had to be at every event. If I couldn't make something, I would say I couldn't make it. There was a time I remember living in Jersey where I had an event in Jersey, an event in the Bronx. I went to the Bronx, right? I went to Jersey to the event, went to the Bronx to that event, came back, and I'm like, girl, what's wrong with you? Right now, I look back and I'm like, what was wrong with you? But that was because I was trying to be everything to everybody, right? And I was filling a void that I didn't even know I was filling, right? And so I think getting to know who you are outside of all the titles that you wear is definitely very critical to how you go through your healing journey.
I love that. And I hope that you guys glean from that and understand that that is, I believe, what is a key part of the root, as
Mm-hmm.
Coach was saying, um, in your healing journey. And it's because when you realize who you are and you accept it, you will not set yourself up
Mm-hmm.
for certain situations. You will not try to be all things to all people. You will start walking in who you are and being okay with it. So it's a way of protecting, who you are, protecting your peace, protecting your heart, protecting all of those things. And I love that. I think we want to land it right there because like I said, that whole piece of identity when it comes to making the choice to heal. When I know who I am, I
Yeah.
know how to decide what I need.
Yep.
I
And
know how to decide what I want to let in my space.
yeah. And when you don't let other people define who you are, right?
Yeah.
So I'll say that to say this, and this is the last thing I'll say, right? Like I said, I'm a beast in my field, right? And I landed in HR. I say by accident, but it's where God wanted me to be because I really wanted to be a healthcare administrator, right? And I ended up with both. I became an HR professional in the healthcare arena, right? Which is where I've spent most of my career. And I've thrived in that area. And I thrived in it and I'm great at it. But if I could have done other stuff, I probably would have. But when you have people telling you you're great, they're after you, you want to work here, you want to work there, you're doing this, right? I mean, I grew from an administrative assistant to a chief human resources officer, right? That's all God, right? I tell people I don't contribute anything to me. All of it is God. A little brown girl from the South Bronx, right? It's all God. But I will say, when I started my coaching business, one of my really good friends that I worked with said to me, I was talking to him and I was like, yeah, I got my LLC, I started my coaching business. And he said, wow, you finally did it. And it took me back to a time when I didn't even remember sharing with him that I wanted to have my own business because I had let life and the detours and the success and all that other stuff and what I was so great at and who everybody was telling me I was so great at had me in this. And I'm not going to say stuck because I've had an amazing career, right? But have me in this career where I stayed somewhere and didn't pursue my dream, right? Until I got to a place of where I will say I thought I was broken, but he didn't break me. I was bruised, right?
Okay.
So I will always say I was bruised but not broken. But I got to a place where I really sat back and looked at who I was. And then I went and got a coach and was like, yo, I'm going to pursue these dreams that I have. And the other thing that I want somebody else to understand is it's never too late. Because when I started my business, I want to say I was either 49 or 50. Right? So to the person out there that's thinking, I'm too old, or it's too late, or I can't do it, with God, all things are possible. You just have to, one, embrace who he created you to be. See, I forgot who God created me to be. Right? For years, me and my mom argued about my name, Theodora, because my aunt named me. And I was like, why would you let her name me this, right? But my name means gift from God. But how often did I walk around like I wasn't a gift from God? Right? It wasn't until I started to embrace who he created me to be, what he created me to have, the promises that he made to me, and believing that I could have it. And then I intentionally set out to create the life that I want to live. It's freedom. And that is the place that my healing journey has me on. Because I will tell you, we're always healing from something, right? And so I'm never going to say I'm healed, right? I'm going to say I'm better. I've learned how to live with some stuff. But the place that my healing journey has me on is embracing completely 100% who I am, and believing that I have, like that John 10:10, I'm going for all of it. All of it. Because the other thing is, we dream and believe too small, when our God is able to do amazing, amazing things. We put him in this little box, and he's like, that's all you asking me for? And so now I began to say, you know what, God, I need you to do this. Make it happen. And then I'm gonna do what you tell me to do. But I'm believing, and I will tell anybody, 60 days, I moved from New Jersey to North Carolina in 60 days. Made a decision to put my condo on the market. Wasn't sure if it was going to sell. By October, it was on the market. By December, I was closing. I was in the car driving down here, and probably 2 weeks later, a truck came and bought all my stuff. And all of that was God. And the other thing is, you got to have friends who are going to believe with you. Because during that process, when I was trying to move, when I was saying to my girlfriend, man, I don't know if this is going to happen. This offer they giving me is not really what I want. My girlfriend was like, girl, God's going to make up for that on the other side. And sure enough, God made up for it on the other side. And I would tell you, he will do it. But he is a God that is like, yo, don't put me in a box unless you want to stay in that box. But if you want to soar, you got to release some stuff. And that starts with you taking responsibility for your own healing, because no one else can be responsible for your own healing. I remember one of my girlfriends said to me when I was just like pissed, like I was mad. I was like, oh my God, I wanted to see this person that hurt me suffer, right? Like I was like, oh. And she was like, let me tell you something, sis. God is going to take care of it, and you got to be okay with no with the fact that you might not ever know how He does, and that freed me as well. So you also need friends that are going to just speak some wisdom into you, who are going to be real with you. And she was like, "Yo, you could stay here, but you need to let this go." And the other thing is, no one else can give you closure but yourself. So for those people who are thinking they can't heal because they waiting for closure, if you keep waiting for closure, then yeah, your healing is going to take a very long time because no one can give you closure. Because even if they tell you or apologize or give you a reason, you still not going to be satisfied. So that's the other thing, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
That's true. No, you sharing, and thank you for that because someone needs to hear it. Someone needs to know, um, and someone needs to be aware to know that these things are possible and they're options, and this is how you begin, or this is how you get out of the space that you're in. Sometimes we just need to hear it from an outside source to know that it can be ours. So Coach Theo is a certified life coach, and I'm going to ask her if she would put her information in the chat if you want to reach out to her. um, I'm not there yet, but I will say I am working on my certification for life coach and grief counselor as well. See, when you roll with people who are doing what they're supposed to do, it encourages you to do what you're supposed to do so that you can be in your right place so that you can do all the things that you need to do. Um, so I encourage you again. It's the point of identity and knowing who you are. So Coach Leo, please put your information in the chat if you don't mind, so that people can find you. So that it's embedded here forever and ever and ever. And I want to give the gentleman an opportunity to give their final closing thoughts and remarks before we end the show. Come on, Justin, because I feel like you got something that you need to share.
Not really. I'm just kind of processing everything Coach was saying. Um, I appreciate the conversation tonight, and yeah, she sharing, like when I listen to people share the things that she shared, like she wasn't saying people said, she was saying I've experienced, and that kind of gives the conversation a different type of feel for me, and
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. Um, I appreciate that. And so y'all have inspired me. I'll tell y'all to I'll tell y'all in the on the other side what I'm talking about. But I really do
We got you.
appreciate it. Um Author Justin Wilson or Justin Wilson, Facebook, Instagram for the most part. TikTok, I go live every Sunday and I have discussions
Amazing discussions.
based on the on the poetry. And like they said, I'm so looking forward to putting out uh the next book, which the stuff y'all reading is from a book that ain't even finished. So like the next book and
Good
then
Lord.
the book after is the stuff y'all reading. So I may be putting out two books next year. But yeah, I you she said a volume 25. I'm like, you know what? I don't even. I'm gonna tell you what's funny before I end it. But you said Justin is writing something. I just finished the piece when you said that. Because while y'all was talking, I was like, and I had to get it out of me. So yeah, I appreciate
We know you. We know you. That
yeah, you definitely. I said, hey, they called that one like whoa. So yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate Coach Theo. I appreciate Coach Steele. I'm going to be if
What
it's okay with her, I'm going to be recommending her to the people in my lives, because for me it's about, getting up there having a bunch of conversation is great, but having resources for people to be able to actually go to is my next phase in my life. And I, with her permission, I'll definitely be saying, hey, this is somebody you want to you want to go to. So, anybody interested to follow me, that's where you can find me at.
I love it. I love it. And this is our family. We are community, but we are family. I couldn't do what I do without them. I'm just here to be a conduit, and I'm grateful for that. And that they come and share and pour, not just talk, but we literally pour and take our time doing so because we all have the heart to want people to do better and be better. Big bro, you all right over there?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on and give some people some nuggets from the old rock as to closing remarks about healing is a choice. If you had to tell them something to end the night, what would it be? Enlighten us, big bro.
I would just say I am in total agreement that healing is a choice, and I I wish that people would take their healing more seriously. Um, because it's beneficial to them. Your healing is for each individual
Mm-hmm.
before it filters out to other people, right? And we have to understand that it is totally our responsibility. It's each individual's responsibility. Once they leave home, their healing is in their control. We got to stop allowing what happened in the past to manipulate, cripple us, paralyze us from becoming better and getting better emotionally and mentally, and sometimes even spiritually. Because you have church hurt too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a whole
So
nother.
we so
That's a whole
yeah, that's
nother.
a whole nother that's a whole nother
We got
show.
to go across the street to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Cross the street, yep, to the other set.
We gotta go. Yeah, we gotta go to the ministry network to have that conversation. We going though. We
And
going.
another thing I would want people to take serious is give yourselves eviction, give yourself a time frame. If you have to give an extension, give an extension. But don't look at your hurts as it is what it is. That means you're embracing it. That
Mm-hmm.
means you're fertilizing it. You're
Mm-hmm.
nurturing it. You don't want to do that. You want to nurture, fertilize, and embrace healing. So take each issue by the horns, deal with it, and then when you deal with that one, move on to the next issue. Because because I just made a decision, I would not go my whole adult life. I'm not doing it. I don't like that feeling. I don't like that feeling, I guess maybe being stubborn in my younger years paid off some because I was just too stubborn. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I fix things quick. When things happen. Now, when I say give an eviction notice, I'm not saying be unrealistic with situations that come up. You have to be realistic, right? Some issues that come up, you can deal with it and it's over. We understand some issues going to take time, so let's not be unrealistic with the eviction notices and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some things going to take time depending on what it was.
Right.
Right. And then let's support one another in their healing. When people are healing, let's support them. Let's do that. Let's stop telling people, oh, I can't stand when people say you should be over there by now. You
Oh
have
yeah.
no right to tell somebody that they should be over something.
Right.
If that's your personal opinion, keep it to yourself.
And
But let's
keep it.
take our healing more serious, and let's just do what we got to do.
Thank you for your share, big bro. Y'all heard it here. Hope you picked up some nuggets and gems from my big bro, Mr. Rockology. Come on, Sir Eric, give us your final comments for the night so we can wrap up and release the people.
Okay, you ready for this?
Oh, Jesus.
So, did you just say, "Oh my God"? So,
I'm leaning in. I'm leaning in.
okay, so because this popped into my head, you are the matador, and your situation is the bull. The matador has two sides to their cape. It's
Mm,
a red side that tells the bull to charge, and there's the black side that tells the bull to stay. Do you want the red side? Do you want that problem charging towards you, or you want that problem to stay? Meaning
mm,
stay put, not come any further towards you. Leave it where it's at.
mm,
So I would say, me as the matador, I'm using my cape to keep my black side towards the bull at all times because I don't want the problem charging towards me. I want it to stay where it's at.
mm,
I will walk away from it. I don't want the situation to walk away from me. I want to walk away from the situation because that means that I am in control of the situation.
mm.
So I will just leave that just like there. My name is Eric, brother Eric, Sir
Mm.
Eric. You can find me on Facebook, Eric Swinton, or DJ Elove underscore, I'm sorry, DJ Elove 2025 at yahoo.com, as well as, because I say I need to do this for the shameless plug. We just
Yeah.
dropped we just dropped our app Monday in the Google Play Store as well as the Apple Play Store for our radio station Without Warning Radio.
Okay, I think he froze. Is it just
Oh,
me? Is he
no,
frozen?
his sound he muted.
Oh,
He muted.
I'm sorry. So the radio station is withoutwarningradio.com. You can find the app for the radio station on the Google Play Store or the Apple Play Store. Just search for Without Warning Radio and you'll see the logo. It has a black background with a teenager with a pair of headphones on. Download, it's free. We have all sorts of different genres of music on there. Sundays, especially, we have the gospel mix that comes on between 9 and 11. And then we have a nice neo soul talk show that comes on after that. So I will put this disclaimer out there that some of the music is a little risque because we don't have control over the DJs and what they play. So just fair warning. But during the daytime, you can definitely play it at work. So peace and love.
thank you, Matador, Sir Eric. And let me find. Eric. I'm gonna have to rename everybody now. Justin is Mr. Courageous Vulnerability. Coach Theo, she's Bravo's sweetheart. Rock is gonna be, you just gonna be Mr.
Wait a
Pebbles.
minute, Coach Theo is who, sweetheart?
She's the sweetheart of Bravo Network. What?
Oh, Bravo now. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Because you was
Eric.
breaking up. I just wanted to make sure I heard you right. Okay.
Okay, yes, she is the Bravo Network sweetheart, just like American
Okay.
Sweetheart. She's the Bravo Network sweetheart.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And Eric is gonna be Sir Matador Eric, Eric the Matador from now on.
Oye,
Just no. And
that's what you get.
And
That's what you get.
there are no shameless plugs here. We are a supporting network. We're gonna have merch day. If you have merchandise, we want you to support our panel. This is my squad. I know Coach Theo has T-shirts, and so I hope she put her information in
I
the
mean, I did, but it's not showing up. But so
It'll probably show up later. It's
yeah.
all right. We're gonna get it. I don't know what that delay is sometimes. Justin's book can be found on Amazon. Please go support. Eric can put his information on how to get to Without Warning Radio.
I
Everybody,
tried to, but it's not allowing me to share the link.
Yeah,
okay.
maybe that's what it is because I'm sharing links. So I am at Theodora Carter 428 on Instagram and Facebook. And on Instagram, you find my link tree that will take you to all of my pages. T-shirts, hoodies, mugs, tote bags. Healing is a choice.
So we want to make sure we are supporting, and hopefully before the end,
check that out.
And books, my books too.
hopefully before the end of the year, y'all gonna have some Thursday night with Lady Dawn B merch. And I'll be able to share the books that I've co-authored in also because I have been, um, I was, I was corrected of my own self so much. You share and you promote everybody else, but you never say what you're doing. And I'm like, it's fine because that's what I'm here to do. That's what I feel like my space is here to do and to make it available. Because when one of us wins, we all win. I want to see as we are all healing and growing. But yes, come please support our awesome panel, and share the information. We're going to continue to plug everybody's stuff. Oh, go
Question.
ahead.
And your
Uh-huh.
website will be up by when?
Yes, my website will be up before the end of the year as well. All of those things, all of the things, all I'm getting my stuff together. Exactly. See, healing is a choice, and I'm choosing to heal because I don't want to get beat down. So yes, all of those things. Yeah, I'm gonna choose to stay. There's a choice to stay healed. So you don't even have to. You don't have to get hurt. That's gonna be our next talk. You don't have to get hurt. Stay healed. Once you get healed, stay healed. Yes, all of those things are going to be up and running in place for me, as well. But we are here to support the squad and the team. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on tonight. I am excited about the rest of this year. We are doing amazing things. This month of September, we have a great lineup for you. But before I get to that and we wrap up the show, I do want to leave you with these few things as far as our conversation ending. I'm going to give you 3 of the 5 C's, when it comes to healing, which is compassion, connection, and community.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that if you don't have these 3 things, find these 3 things. If you don't know where to begin, you are welcome to start right here with us on Thursday nights. We are a community and we do love and look out for each other. So, again, 3 of the 5 C's of healing are compassion, connection, and community. Let's start with those. The next thing I want to share is a few points on how to self heal. We do that by identifying the source of your pain, practicing mindfulness and meditation, engaging in physical activities and exercise, nourish your body with healthy foods because sometimes what we put in us will affect what comes out of us mentally, all of those things. Um, Build strong support systems. We got you here on Thursday nights. Practice forgiveness and letting go of resentment. That's a major one. And this is one of my favorites. Taking a break, the importance of self care and rest. All of these things will help to aid you in your journey of healing, being a choice. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for being in the hot seat on the spotlight tonight, Coach Theo. Next Thursday, I am so excited because one of my favorite segments is coming back, and that's the men's lounge is in the building. All right. Listen, if you don't know now, you know. So our fellas will be up here navigating and guiding through conversation. I'm gonna be present, and I'll be the only estrogen in the room. But Coach Theo is gonna be hanging in the lounge. We might have to bring her in at the end to just add a little female estrogen to the end of the conversation because we don't want to interrupt what the men are saying. Now I'm gonna say this, ladies: when the men are on, we are not here to be combative. We are here to lean in and listen. So get your notepad. Get your snack so you can put your cookie in your mouth if you hear something that triggers you. And let's lean in and take notes. We want to hear the hearts of our men when they decide, listen, I'm trying to help the people. All right. So, and we're going to give you the rules next week. But make sure you tune in because our spotlight guest is going to be Moose B Strength. And I promise you, you don't want to miss this brother. I assure you, he is deep and we love it. But something happens when men speak and we want to hear them talk. Is it just me? I know y'all do too. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. I hope you have, we pray you have, we declare that you have a wonderful weekend. Be safe, go be great. And remember, healing is a choice. So be sure to choose yourself first. Thanks for tuning in. You know, with me, team.
I'ma make the rest of my life yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life I'ma make the rest of my life gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration.